Hello everybody, it's Demon here. Thank you so much for tuning into the Demon Cast. You're listening to World's End, Episode 10. Hi guys.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
Hello.
Good to have this thing back up and working. So, I can hear myself through Poro's thing.
Again? Man.
Always gotta be a pain in the ass, doesn't it?
Okay. Oh, I shut it down.
Okay. Oh yeah, first question I want to ask you. How many of the Prime entities are there, and can you name them?
Can I cheat and look back through our Discord chats?
Ooh. Okay.
Is that for everybody?
Yeah, that's for everybody.
There's the Silent Sisters.
That's one.
And that's the only one that Jack knows, because it's the only one that's important.
That's partially true.
Give me like 7 minutes.
This is probably going to be a Dryas heavy game, again. Though I do got some stuff for Jack here.
Awesome.
Another thing we've done is we're on a high enough level where I've decided that put most NPCs at their full level cap. Currently, Saris Ravenhold is still a higher level than you guys, but he doesn't go any higher. So it's going to get to a point where you start exceeding everybody in the world. So the way these games tend to run is leveling up is kind of it's a false illusion or a delusion type thing where everything else kind of levels up with you. But there's a point at which they don't. And we are getting to that point.
Ew.
Anyway, we need to start this back off in Freeport. You guys needed a new pilot. And so Saris Ravenhold has set out word that Dryas is conducting interviews for a new pilot. You obviously have Edward in there with you because, that helps. He knows pilots more than you do. And you're going to get a parade of people that come in, they sit down at their chair, and they give you all their experience and what they've done. It's a lot of running people or running cargo and shipping manifests and all that kind of stuff. You get a human guy and an elf guy and there's a little halfling from Alioth. And then at some point, a person walks in, and I will describe her. Have a darker coloration skin, lighter coloration than the people from the southern or the central continent, but darker complexion, white, almost it's blonde, but it's an almost white blonde type hair, long, dressed up in your sailing stuff, sort of. Comes in, she doesn't sit down, she just kind of looks at you and says, you're hiring for a captain, right?
Yep.
What kind of work are you doing? Are you looking for shipping or running peoples or?
We're looking for a permanent captain of my personal ship. We do adventures. We're not really shipping and stuff like that, but we go places, help people.
Traveling different towns and stuff? Is what you're doing?
All over. We've been to other continents, other things among our travels.
And she kind of nods a little bit, thinks it over. Yeah, I'll work for you. When do we start?
Do you have any... Everybody else has been trying to dazzle me with their qualifications. You just accepted the job.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm from Shattered Island. I worked for about 12 years just land crossing across Shattered... Have you ever been to the Shattered Islands? Bunch of floating islands. It's a pain in the ass to get goods across.
It's been 500, a little over 500 years.
She cocks an eyebrow at you, but overall ignores that. Well, the Shattered Islands actually got an airship, which was great because it made things so much easier. So I worked on that for like 8 years, going back and forth, and then I got bored of just that crossing, so I started working on another airship, doing some longer runs. To be fair, I'm not so happy with the trade goods. Like, let's go all the way over to this city, drop off our stuff, pick up stuff, go to this city, and doing that kind of thing. I'd like to, look at the city once in a while, It's just... So, I guess that's my experience. And I was looking for something that's not so trade missions. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trade missions, but...
Oh, we generally stay where we're at for a good little while. We don't always get a lot of time off because make sure the ship's not in trouble, but I usually try to make sure they get time to come out.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's no problems. As long as there's some downtime that we can actually explore a city instead of just I've seen a lot of ports. I've not seen a lot of cities. If you catch my drift.
Yeah. Yeah, we can. I always try to make some time for the crew to get off and do some other stuff.
That's good.
Not always possible.
No problems. Okay. Could I see the ship?
Sure.
And technically, by her description, she has just as much or slightly more experience with this shit than some of the other people.
I looked at Edward and I asked him what he's doing, what he thinks.
Oh, well, sounds more like your kind of positioning. Not so many cargo runs. And, I don't know, she's got more experience than I do.
Okay.
I mean, that was a total of, 16 years flying? I got 6. Albeit I was professionally trained, but I only have 6 years experience.
Okay. So I guess we take her to the ship.
Okay.
She's a lot better candidate than any of the other ones, correct?
Well, she's about on par with the ability to fly a ship, but all the other ones are running cargo and people and how to handle those things. She knows that stuff too, but it bores her.
Okay. I guess we'll go talk to him.
All right. Well, yeah, you can introduce her to your ship. Speaking about contracting Shawan. Shawan's not difficult to find. Basically, you go to the nearest tavern to your landing point and ask about her, and they'll be like, yeah, she was in here yesterday. And you go to the second nearest, and you ask about her, and the barkeep points to a corner table where she's face planted into the table. So, yeah, you can pick her up again.
Yeah.
She has a problem.
She has a drinking problem, yes.
The contract I was working on it would encourage that, unfortunately. They would keep her around.
Well, she's one of those... She's more like a shipping person, right? You work your ass off, And when you hit port, you go to the tavern and you party your ass off, and you get back on your ship and you work your ass off. That's kind of her thing.
That's still a problem.
Okay.
She'll never be more than a simple sailor.
So I guess pull her up and be like, I don't remember what we agreed to, but
Yeah.
tell her I'd like her to stay on crew. If tell her how much it was while we're doing stuff, and then on downtime, it's whatever it was. Plus, I'll allow you a free drink or two at the tavern that's in our town.
I believe it was something along the lines of like 30 gold pieces a month during downtime, and basically like a hazard pay type thing while you're actually going somewhere.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of that way. And she'll totally accept this. That sounds awesome.
Okay. So, get her and then go back to the boat with the Alfy.
Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce her name. It was Aoife?
Sure.
Aoife.
It was
I call her
random
Effie the whole
generated
time.
name.
Effie?
Effie? Aoife? E-E-F-F-E.
Oh. It was E-F-F-I-E. I was excited.
Oh. Alright. Let's see here. Is that interview? Where's my pen? I have to re-steal my pen away from my wife. She'd take all my pens. Any word on how many prime entities there are and what their names are?
I'm pretty sure there's the fire god, the water god, the earth god, and the one and the many, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. You're short one.
I don't... He already said the sisters. Silent sisters.
Okay, the silent sister.
Oh, okay.
That's one entity.
I don't remember the last one, because it's not letting me look through it. No.
I'm glad, because I'm trying to do community DM points and not just solitary. But if you're the only one that gets it, then I have to give it to you. Okay.
I will find it. I'm determined now.
So, landing in Jidai Nakushita, you spend your you travel across the freelands, and you have your run-in with Dryton for a short time there. And it's early afternoon, 1 o'clock maybe, when you are landing in Jidai Nakushita. Oh, that's the question I had to ask. At what point was Dryaz going to be asking his celestial person when Kayan would show up?
Probably when we got to town and she wasn't there still.
Okay.
I'd probably be like, hey.
All right. Well, that's where you get your answer of, well, there's a 70% chance that she'll be here in 2 months. It's kind of far in the future to give you like a higher percentage chance than that. And, she was having issues with stuff. It took her a while to figure out that answer because things are not making any sense. And then she's like, oh, I gotta go.
Okay. Call me back.
Sure.
Stay safe.
And then she's gone.
Well, that sucks.
Okay. I suppose that would not be right away, but you land in Jidai Nakushita, and I am going to switch to Noriko.
Okay.
So, you've been in Jidai Nakashita, let's say, a couple weeks maybe, or at least a week. There's a lot of people here, a bunch of refugees from River's End and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You have not found the person you're looking for. Little discouraging. But there's an airship starting to land, and might as well check that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this airship lands, and people pull them in, and there's some type of sort of fanfare as they obviously know who's getting off this ship. And great big blue Azamar type guy, armor. And behind him is a blue Oni-sen with a mask and motley outfit. What are you doing?
I'm gonna throw my dagger at him.
You want to roll an attack roll?
Sure. 33. It's Jack. Not.
Wow.
33 versus Jack's AC?
That'll hit.
There's gonna be a note attached saying, on the dagger, like on the hilt of the dagger, before it disappears, "Where the fuck have you been?" And disappears. That's what it does.
Jack's just really confused for a second. Like, really confused.
She then throws up.
And then he just freezes. Oh, shit.
She's gonna, like, slowly saunter on up there and be like, "Yeah, here's this pocket watch. Keep it."
Okay. Sorry.
Are you coming back with me?
Sure, I guess. Starts just tossing the pocket watch into the air and catching it. Up, catch, up, catch.
She's fine with that. Because she knows you're not stupid enough to drop it.
Yeah. Jack will follow along.
No, she meant, are you going to go back with her to your lady?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's pretty fun here. Gotten to fight a bunch of people. I got to steal a lot of people's money. It was pretty great. It'd be pretty cool if I could stay, because I could take more people's money. And gather
Fine.
information. I could do that too, yes.
Fine, I will be with you so you don't get yourself killed.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I know you. My little faith is well-founded.
You want to describe what Noriko looks like?
Is 5'1" tall? Or medium?
It's average for the Philippines.
Yeah, okay, so she's average height for the southern continent. There we go. Pale, red eyes, silver hair. She has really short horns. Like, not nearly as long as Jack's, but just, they're there.
So, like, Onikai sized?
Yeah, pretty much. I need to find her picture again. Fuck.
Okay.
She's wearing a maid's outfit. You know, the usual. So you can see that she has, like, one dagger on her, which she throws exclusively.
So, Dryas, as you're coming down the gangplank, a maid tries to assassinate Jack. And apparently he's okay with this.
Like,
Well,
it kind of starts out as an assassination, but then she just kind of just glares at him, and Jack just kind of shrinks a little smaller and smaller the longer it happens.
I would have either started chasing after because I would have been like, "What the fuck?" Or
She didn't
actually,
she did not run.
She's not running.
Grab him and be like, what the fuck was that?
You're grabbing her?
You just threw a knife in my direction. Just probably like grabbing the front of their shirt, not like picking up.
Okay, and she said, like, unhand me. This instant.
Why the fuck did you throw a knife at somebody that I came with?
Because he's Jack. And that's the only way to get him to listen to me.
Hey, I listen to you all the time. I
So
just
you know
don't
him?
follow what you tell me.
So
Unless
you
I
know
stab
him?
you.
So you know him?
Yes, I've known him for, like, my entire life.
I turned my head back and say, "You're okay? You don't have any problems with this?" To Jack.
No, this is pretty normal.
Okay. I'll let him go. Be like, just make sure you don't hit me.
She's gonna look at your arm and be like, I don't think I can hit you.
Sure you can. You're a determined person.
Out
I
of game.
I have yet to see you fail to kill someone you really wanted to kill. So, did I not have said that?
She's
Jack
gonna
just
give him
walks
the,
off, starts shuffling.
No,
Like,
before he walks off, she's gonna give him the look.
Oh,
Jack
shit.
starts nervously shuffling his deck.
So, mind reading thing. Do I hear thought reading thing? Do I hear any thoughts going on?
No. Because I don't want
Yeah.
to keep rolling will saves to stop this, but she doesn't like people reading her mind. She knows Jack does it all the time. So fine, you get the thing. There's either, you'll probably hear it constantly, Jack, get out of my head, Jack, get out of my head, Jack, get out of my head.
Jack's
always.
voice just off on the side. I'm not in your head.
Okay.
That's basically, and then maybe I found him, but I'm not going back to my lady, so that might be a problem. But at least he's not dead. Jacket on my head, jacket on my head, jacket on my head.
Okay. Well, I turn around and say, apparently you need to get out of her head. Get out of the head. Is it a guy or a chick?
It's a girl. Now she's gonna glare at you, like, excuse me? Oh,
sorry,
son of a
you're
bitch.
sorry. You think very loudly.
What is your name?
My name's Dryas.
Okay, now if you read her mind again, it'll be Jack and Dryas got to my head. Just constantly.
Diplomacy. Can I make her like it? No. I'm just
I mean, you probably out diplomacy her because you're cheating, but she's pretty good at it herself.
For the most part, I'm not going to let you guys diplomacy each other. Welcome home, Dryas. You get kind of a bit of a fanfare. Apparently a lot of people know you. Everybody wants to shake your hand after they realize that there's not going to be a fight ensuing.
Yeah. Shake hands.
Yeah.
Wave to people. Kiss women. I mean babies.
All right. Did you want to go see Maybelle first? You have that acorn.
Second, I'm typing. But yes, that's what I want to do first.
Yeah. So you can find her at the temple. Currently outside of this temple that she's running here, there's kind of this makeshift, let's call it a kind of a medic area with a whole bunch of cots and shit, and there's a bunch of people sick, and Maybelle is trying to treat people, as is, what the hell was her name? Serene, the drow lady you stole from the future.
Serene.
Yeah, Serene. And some other aid-type people are rendering aid to a bunch of sick people. Apparently there's some type of epidemic running its course through the refugees.
I go up to her and I was going to ask something. Does she have her pad of paper on her? Is there
She
anything I
always
can...
has a pad of paper on her.
Okay. Is there anything I can help with?
She'll give you a nod and write down remove disease. Question
How
mark.
high? What level would that be?
I think it's like a 3rd level. Might be lower.
I could take a 15-minute break or whatever it is and learn it and start to do it.
Sure, you can help her with that. A great use of your time.
And then when we're done with that, when we have time, I'll give her the thing, the acorn, and tell her that I was in a town in the middle continent and I found a god tree, which was I touched and I planar jumped, I guess, or that's what it felt like. And I talked to one of the old gods, and he told me some things about the old powers and whatnot. But he said that that tree is where a god had came from, like wasn't it? Like where God had come to this plane.
It's the avatar. It's kind of the tree itself is an avatar of the entities, and it's where they choose to manifest, basically.
Okay, well, I tell her that, and then I say we had a little bit of an argument over some things, but I asked that if I could have an acorn that would grow a god tree for you, and he gave me this for you, and I brought it back so you could plant it and grow your own god tree.
Okay. Well, she stares at you, eyes open, and mouth agape the whole story, and then you hand her this thing, and she'll give you a huge hug, super excited, like. So, Jack, during this downtime, what do you plan on doing?
Trying to find out everything I can about the guy, Dryden, or whatever his name was. Any sort of occurrences like that.
Dryden, okay.
Right.
All right. Noriko, are you just following Jack around?
Pretty much.
Okay. Jack, why don't you give me some type of diplomacy?
Jesus.
This is just to
There you go.
determine on how long it takes you to find the right people.
If I could do a bluff, that would be
That's pretty
much
good.
better.
Yeah, a lot of people know Dryden, actually. So the going idea is that Dryden is some type of wolf spirit or something, or a spirit in the form of some type of wolf. He inhabits this area, this kind of general region, and he's kind of a doomsayer. He kind of gets his kicks telling people they're gonna die and how they're gonna die, and he's just kind of that thing that watches shit. So, I mean, any specific questions you want answers to?
Since I learned that he's a spirit, I just want to start searching up all sorts of references and events regarding spirits and stuff.
Okay. I'll get back to you on that. Let's go back to Dryas. So Dryas, at some point, probably a couple days later, you're going to be approached by a tiefling man, of which I should have the description up, but apparently I don't. He does look a lot like his father, Saris Ravenhold.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Alexius. Bright red skin, human-like, eyes with red iris, thick curved horns, same as his father, and he has cloven hooves in the tail of his mother, so he looks a little bit different than his father. He's got the cloven hoof thing going on. And he's decently well dressed, much like his father. He sticks to nice clothes that isn't too ostentatious. This is Master Dryas. Welcome home.
Thank you.
My grandmother would like to speak to you in person.
Okay.
If you follow me, please. Okay. Now, I'm fairly certain you're a Game of Thrones fan, right?
Yeah.
I cannot remember the name of this lady, but it's that old lady that comes up from...
Queen of Roses.
Yeah, her. You know who
I don't... Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her actual name.
Okay. That is what I picture for this old lady, except kind of more in tiefling form. So, got the nice curved horns, much like Saris and his son Alexius. Red skin, pure black eyes. And she is basically taken over Saris Ravenhold's study. So you are led to this doorway, and you are introduced. Grandmother, this is Master Dryas, and Alexius is going to leave you. This room is kind of Spartan in its design. It's got the red and black banners of House Ravenhold, but there's not much more. So he's like, come in, have a seat. Don't worry, I don't bite hard.
What if I ask? And then I wink.
I like you. So, my son has told me quite a bit about you.
Which one?
Saris.
Oh, yeah. We've
Possibly
pretty
the only one you probably know, actually.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess that's his grandson. Her grandson.
Yeah, Alexis is his grandson.
Yeah.
I get you something to drink. Saris has got a nice assortment here.
Sure.
She's an old lady. She's kind of shaky.
I'll stand up and get it. Just tell me where it is.
All right.
I'll pour it for you. Just tell me where to get it.
Right. The little liquor station right here. Thank you. Let's do the fire brandy. I like these Empire Flame people like to import that shit. It's good stuff. You should try some yourself.
Will do. And I pour them and bring back.
She is pulling a box out of the desk. She's going to open it up. And basically, all that's in this box is a small leather paper holder thing. It's not much bigger than a wallet. Kind of folded up. And for your service to the Ravenhold family, I am going to be issuing you some papers. She's going to hand you this leather-bound thing. This will allow you to stay as a guest in any Ravenhold manor across the Freelands. Excuse me. And, don't be an asshole and take it for all it's worth. But
I don't.
You and your party are welcome among the Ravenholds anytime.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, you're welcome to pretty much anything you need in town, of course.
Yes. Well, seems Ceres has done quite well here, and I'm sure he'll do well in Freeport.
Good for him.
It does this old heart good to see Freeport back in our possession. That is, I could have never dreamed of such things.
Well, we had the army, and we shouldn't have. We had to use it. We didn't need to lose it, so we might as well take back what's ours.
Yes. Well, would you care to stay for dinner? Liliex is quite a good cook, you know.
If it's no imposition, sure.
Very well. You're going to have dinner with the Ravenholds. And, Liliex cooks all the meals. They don't have servants to actually cook the meals because Liliex is good at that stuff. It's Alexius's wife. So you get 1, 2, 3 generations of the family. If Ceres was there, it'd be 4, but he's away. And you now have papers, and I should write that down. You basically have I don't know what you call it.
Free stay and provisions,
Basically, that's what it amounts to.
in the Ravenhold area.
Old papers. You've given that to her. To Wyvern, I'm going to change corpses to skins.
I was gonna say, do we get anything out of them besides the meat? Yeah, somebody would have probably skinned them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Jack. Let's go. It's been a week. Okay. There's not a lot of information you can get here. There's no serious library. There is Maybell, who is apparently the priest lady. She can't speak, but she does have a small collection of books, basically building a library, and asking around and whatnot. Mostly what you get from spirits, or about spirits. The main spirit talkers in the area are called witchers. They're basically your druids and anyone who deals with that side of magic, basically. Witcher is an interesting term because apparently it basically is a bad word in the countries surrounding you. So it might be that way to scare off the Belarusians and the Illyrians. You can find somebody who is I guess what we'll call a low-level witcher. And they're kind of excited because spirits are apparently making more of a presence these days. There's some issues with Arcana, apparently, and when there is a lack of Arcana, the spirits tend to overexpose themselves. They generally manifest as small floating orbs, often seen at night around marshes and stuff. But Drayton is a greater spirit in the area. You get no more information than what he already is. He's pretty simple, actually. But yeah, they seem to be making some type of, not really a comeback, but like a higher presence in the area. Were you also going to be gathering blackmail information stuff for your lady?
Yes.
How did you want to start going about that?
I like to be stealthy and fancy. Just sort of meander around, find sort of higher end places here.
Okay.
Places that could be frequented by nobility or
Okay.
high profile merchants, stuff like that. And yeah.
This city's not that old. It's about a year old, about now. Most of the buildings are pretty common. You have the brothel, which is put in place by one of the noble type people, one of the houses. Reginald Valdar is kind of his place. So that does get frequented. You can probably find yourself a bit of an underworld here. It's small. There's no massive goblin markets like there was in Berkhamsted or anything. But I'll allow you to look into that. Other than that, there are the actual nobles. The house... mansion is the wrong word except for Ravenhold. Ravenhold's doing... kind of got themselves a nice place. But the higher upscaled homes of those people. Where'd you want to start?
The sort of upscale homes.
Right. Well, there's upscale homes. What do you want to know about them? You want to, just sit outside and stare at the thoughts of people or something?
To start out with, just trying to figure out who's kind of important.
All right. I have a list.
Oh, goody.
Alexius Ravenhold is, Warden of the Northwest. He's a younger lad in his 20s. Saris's son. You have met Saris. He's a tiefling guy that you've been kind of hanging around near in Freeport. Reginald Valdar. He's this podgy, pompous guy. You quickly figure out his wife basically hates him.
Well then.
Yeah. He's the guy that owns the brothel. Might happen to be one of the reasons his wife hates him. Rivendeep. His name is Harold. There is Isabella Shore. She's a half-elf lady. It's one of the major houses. Oren Isle is he's another, I think he's human. There's the Trell brothers, Michael and Thomas. And that's mostly it, save for there's kind of an up-and-coming house in town, which is the Black Ridge House, run by Tauren.
I'm gonna see if I can get anything on the Black Ridge, the up-and-coming.
Great. Give me a second here. Start recording. So, yeah, Dryas wants to basically make sure Edward can get anything Maybell needs for her library or anything else, which is awesome. Back to Jack. You're looking into Black Ridge.
Yes.
Give me your bluff and either a sense motive or a perception. Start this off with.
Okay. This one again. Okay, that's my bluff. That was a shit roll.
That was a shit roll.
God damn it. And that's my perception.
Okay. You don't really get much by talking, but you can have a look at basically some of the stuff that's kind of gone down. Tauren Blackridge does a lot of the more nefarious stuff. You know, he's in on like stolen goods and shit. And you find he owns most of the apartment buildings in town, as well as a couple shops. And it seems Saris Ravenshold has basically signed off on all these apartment complexes and shops and stuff he owns. And there's also like a thing, is it the Trell brothers, perhaps? Which one of these guys is it? Who's the trade people? Yeah, it's the Trell brothers. They're trying to get a road between here and Caldera, and basically Alexius Ravenhold has authorized Torin to basically do anything he can to sabotage that. And I will let you play a card game with Torin Blackridge, if you're interested.
Okay. Sure, why not? Just 1 second, let me get all that. So, Torin is sabotaging the road of the brothers.
Mm-hmm. Under the authorization of Alexis Ravenhold.
Okay.
Okay. Card game. Card games are fun.
Card games are fun.
So, Torin Blackridge is this blue-skinned tiefling guy. He's got the horns that kind of come out towards the front of his head and kind of curl backwards. One of them is broken off. He's got pure black eyes. And he's well-dressed, but he's like well-dressed in like adventure-type gear. So, the nice leather armor and a rapier, whatnot. You are sitting at a table. It's a round table. Across from you is Torin Blackridge. And on him is kind of a tiefling girl just kind of like hovering over him on his right shoulder. And you had a half-elf guy here who threw in. He wasn't doing well. He just left. And on your right, you have a little halfling guy. And he lost all his gold to you and Torin already, and is just kind of sitting back watching you two, and he's the one dealing. And you got this half-elf girl kind of like hovering over you, as it's apparently a showdown between you and Torin. And how did we run card games again?
It was there's a bluff, there's a sense motive, and then I think there's a choice for a sleight of hand.
Yeah, I think that's how we did it. Let me pull up Torin's stats. You can give me a bluff and a sense motive.
Bluff. And wait. Oh right, yeah. That's not a plus. That's my sense motive.
All right.
Should I be seeing your rolls?
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Torin's easily winning. So, now that the other guys are gone, he's been kind of whittling you down. And he's pretty good. He knows how to play it so that you bet the most amount of gold before he nails you. So, what is Jack specifically doing?
Jack?
I mean, you're not just playing cards, you're trying to get information, right?
Yeah. Jack's just kind of chatting and kind of shuffling a stack of coins and just chatting, just like, hey, new here, and hear you're up and comings. What exactly do you do here?
Well, I run most of the apartment blocks. and got all that set up. I own the bar here.
The
And,
best part.
Oh, owies. The dwarf makes great ale. And I got a storefront. I sell most of the general goods and venturing supplies here. It's working out pretty good for me.
Oh yeah.
You're
New city. You're in charge of some of the most important stuff.
Yeah.
Lucky you got in there fast, I guess.
Oh, well, I was here with the people that started this place.
Huh.
Kind of a lucky break.
Oh well. Jack just kind of leans in. Jack just kind of leans in, still playing with the coins, occasionally making one disappear. Luck don't exist, boy. It's all skill.
That's not entirely true.
And in the meantime, I'm just sort of keeping track of all the cards in my mind, and thinking about. Jack is thinking about what could possibly happen. What's the most likely hand to win, but not sort of tweak him off that Jack is about to cheat like a motherfucker.
Not put out a royal flush, essentially.
Yeah. Say if he's got I don't know, 3 of a kind, then maybe a lucky full house. But if he's but try not to beat him out too easily.
Okay.
And I would like to roll my sleight of hand.
You're going to run another round, so give me the bluff and the sense motive again.
Okay, there's bluff. Better.
You did better than him.
That's my sense motive.
You got a 32.
You got a 32.
Okay. Now, roll me your sleight of hand.
Shit.
I am going to GM roll a perception. Okay. 22 versus his perception. So, you win this hand. And he reaches over, he grabs the gold and pulls it towards him.
I let him. He noticed me cheat, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Jack stands up, lets him take the gold. Great game.
Yeah.
And then just kind of looks at his hand, shuffles, just kind of slaps it all together so it's one stack. And then just looks over, says, "Remember, luck don't exist." And he just tosses his hand out. The entire thing is ace of spades, and there are way too many cards for them to have been in his hand.
You know what? I disagree that luck doesn't exist. And he'll give you like a small stick of gold back. This is, ladies, let's go. And that one that was hanging on you basically walks over to him, grabs his other arm.
And then the door busts open. A small fox girl runs in, tackles Torin, and calls him Alfy. And a great big ol' hug.
You know, I was trying to be dramatic.
Jack is leaning back in his chair because he's seeing this and he's just plopped down and he's dying of laughter.
And my name
She's
is
like
Poro.
rubbing his cheek up against him. Just being so dumb.
I'll pat you on the head.
Yes.
You're a simple
So what?
person.
Of course I'm a simple person. I just blow things up. I'm also apparently a really good matrix. Apparently.
Yeah, great. He looks back at Jack, says, "I need to go. Here, there's an Oni-sen. You're familiar with Oni-sen, right?" He kind of like leans his head in towards the horn that's missing.
Yeah. Is that directed towards? Jack? Or?
That is directed towards Kino.
Oh.
Yeah. As a reminder that he's a little nervous around Onisen because one ripped off his horn and stabbed somebody next to him with it.
Oh, I want to meet this Oni 77. So metal.
She's gone?
Yeah,
Maybe.
we were too afraid to travel with her.
Well, Kinu tried, just she left.
Yeah.
Well, they left in the morning.
Okay, fine, I'll take the big, scary Oni man off your hands.
Great.
Jack looks down at himself. What? Jack's 5'6". Like he's average height, but he's not that big.
Yeah, well, you get foot-long horns that make you look bigger.
Come on, buddy, let's go to the end. The small fox just pushes him along.
Hey, Jack, it's a kitsune. They're common in where you're from. Actually, she sounds like she's from the southern continent.
No, she has her tails out.
Yeah, but you sound like you're southern continenter.
Oh, right.
So, meet Kinu.
The resident fireball expert.
Yeah.
And lightning bolt.
Let's
Blindness.
see, the only thing else I have up here as this fox is pushing you out of this thing over towards the inn is this girl. You want to give me a knowledge history check?
Wait, Jack?
Yes, Jack.
Oh, Jesus. It's not a negative, at least.
Well, it's a low DC for you.
And like always, never fail to disappoint.
Okay. It'd be funnier if you didn't know. So, this girl, pure white skin, pure black hair, brilliant blue eyes, kind of in like off-white clothing, kind of walks up to you, looks you in your mask's eye holes and says, "Are you angry?"
Jack's never angry.
Oh,
Forgot
good.
she came.
Hi, Kinus.
Hi, Shiro. How are you?
I'm good. You gotta go, though.
Okay. Bye.
I forgot she came with us.
Yeah, I had to do that for humor. So you're pushing him over to the inn?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Jack. This fox girl pushes you over to an inn. Inside their inn is another red-fleshed Onisen. Provocative clothing. She screams lust Onisen. And she's shorter than you. And she's like, "Hello!" in Oni. Because you're from the same continent. What country are you from?
1 second. Crap, what country is Jack from?
I think it's Ensivli, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
Jack does. Is Noriko still there?
Yes, she's just following you.
Jack just looks over. Which one?
I'm 99, like it's not a character. I'm 99% sure it was Iteo.
Okay. Just Iteo was the crazy place, and Ensivli was the more fascist place.
Oh yeah, the America. So yeah, we're from Insembly. You're like Insembly.
Great. I'm from Iteo. Come in. Have a seat. What can I get you? Kinu, you should serve them.
But I brought you Oh, fine. She goes and tries to serve them.
That's great. So let's pause here.
I'm not role playing with myself. I'm sorry. I'm not doing.